this podcast is interesting because I guess for me it has been a whole lot of fuck around and find out. Me getting into entrepreneurship was more or less a trauma response.
Okay.
But what we are essentially building is a space and an ecosystem for men.
Okay. What was being fucked up?
The money.
Or was the intention for franchising the wrong intention?
No, it was the right intention. First of all, the ManCave story tends to feel like deja vu because if you actually watch the McDonald's story, the founder, it's kind of unika check online, ikaambiwa XYZ, ikaambiwa it's gonna cost this amount. Because I want to get done with this story, I paid the full amount. Kumbe it was a con. I'll con my M-Pesa.
Welcome yet again to another episode of Successful Fuck-Ups. And today we're going to have a very interesting conversation. And it's a very builder-to-builder kind of conversation. So not theories, but very much practical lessons and fuck-ups that have been taken with the people here in their first, let's say, 1 to 3 years of business. And while we're thinking about doing this episode, the thing was, who's better to have this conversation with than with our guest of the day, who's Ian Njoroge of ManCave. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I know you've been, and you'll talk about this a bit, you've been in this ManCave world for like 3 years now. So it's a very today kind of conversation. It's the things that you're learning now, you've been learning for the last 2 years. Yeah. And even in your other businesses, there are things that I'm sure there are lessons that we can take and give to our audience. And as well with my able co-host Sam.
Yes, Sam to the K. That's Manga Sam Kanja.
Yeah, who's also been running businesses for a while. And we'll just discuss. And hopefully you'll be able to get lessons that you who's in the business building stage now can use today. And also someone who's currently running businesses, you will relate. And you can also tell us your stories. So we want to start very strongly in this conversation. And what I want to understand is, we grew up with a certain idea of business and business building. So from your perspective, what is the one thing that you thought business is, but when you just got in, it just slapped you and like, this is not it. Is there anything?
That's an interesting question. You don't wake up and open shop today and you make money tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You know that's how it works?
Yeah. It was easy as I have a good idea. No. It's not about your idea. I think the marketplace is the one that tells you what a good idea is. It's what validates what you should put out to the marketplace. I think that's one of the biggest things. Yeah.
How would you say you started? Because we always say that there are people who are born. There are people who are born with things like, you are nature or nurture, and people say you are natural in things. So for you, what's the backstory? What pushed you to where you are today?
I think this podcast is interesting because I guess for me it has been a whole lot of fuck around and find out. I wouldn't say I was a born natural. No. Probably, I wouldn't call myself a natural. What I would say is me getting into entrepreneurship was more or less a trauma response.
Okay, interesting.
Because I never really, both my folks for the longest were 9 to 5. Even my mom was a TSC teacher.
Okay.
High school teacher. My dad was in supply chain management, procurement.
Okay.
My mom, until recently, when she started her school, which should be turning 4 years on May.
Okay.
But I couldn't say I really grew up seeing business. I grew up seeing 9 to 5.
Okay.
So for me, it was something I acquired on my way through life. Yeah.
Okay. So when you talk about 9 to 5, in your early childhood and all that, is this something that you saw yourself in? Like, did you think, okay, when I grow older, I'll be like mom, or I'll be like mom or dad, or you are like, I'm going to churn my own path?
Well, I remember when I was younger, and especially when at the time my dad was he was first at EABL, then Nairobi Hospital. So I'd go with him to work on Saturdays. And sometimes on Fridays when he'd leave work a little bit late. So he'd go for meetings and I sit on his chair and call myself the boss. I knew I would be a boss, but I just didn't know how. And I also remember when, especially those early stages, my mom would tell me how, like, I'd definitely be a CEO at some point. Like, she always told me that. But of course, it's usually just stories, and
it wasn't manifesting.
It was just words, like you're just being told. It sounds nice to hear, but I didn't take it too seriously at the time, and I didn't know she was probably speaking into my life at the time. She probably didn't know what she was saying also, but yeah, I would say I didn't know it would be in this channel of like entrepreneurship or anything, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing you say that we've had a conversation previously here, and one of the things that we were saying is that someone's light and darkness stems from the same source.
Yeah.
And so as you're saying,
Hey, bro.
so as you're saying that your journey is very much a trauma response kind of journey.
Yeah.
It makes sense for a lot of things. Most business people actually, some sort of, it could be trauma inflicted to them or to people that were close to them. And then they are able to harness it in a positive way. Some people definitely harness it very negatively. And they go the other direction, but the people who harness it positively.
Yeah.
So that's what I took from what you just said. But going back to, because I want us to speak about your current business a bit and the ManCave business. For the people who know it, we know it as it's a men's grooming business. You go, you groom, you cut your hair, whatever. But is that really the business? From you, for the last few years that you've been there, is that really the business? Or is the business something else?
Okay, so let me start off. We actually rebranded it to ManCave Man Market.
ManCave Man Market.
Yes.
Okay.
The Man Market was added to approach it from a more holistic standpoint, in the sense of there's the shaving side, but there's also the retail side.
Okay.
So say Ian or yourself, no typical guy would wake up and say, by the way, I'm going to get myself a shirt or I'm going to get myself a cologne. But when you see one, you'll be like, well, I actually don't have that with me at home. So what better place than the barbershop, because a guy actually has to come to the barbershop. So it's a more holistic approach to the basic needs of a man. Now, when you asked about back to your question, shaving is the entry into the ManCave. But what we are essentially building is a space and an ecosystem for men.
Okay.
And a guy comes in to shave. Number one, creating a very safe space. So we are actually working on the podcast that we should be doing. So it's typical barbershop conversations. There's no host, nothing. It's just guys in the barbershop.
Will it be similar to
the shop by the brand?
Salon? When you go to this place in, is it Kenyatta Market? In Ngumo, when babes are having their conversation, is always, they're talking about udaku. So how is this different for men?
So it will depend on the topic of the day. So let's say, for example, love relationships. What does it mean to be a man? So of course we'll have lead questions, but then everyone will put in, oh yeah, by the way, I also think this way, just kind of, I feel like the biggest issue with the issues we face is that we always think that it's us who are facing that problem.
Yes.
and especially as guys. And unfortunately, with a lot of spaces guys have, you're also not comfortable sharing.
Okay.
Because you're also afraid that that could probably be used against you down the road. Or another issue which I've been saying is that a lot of people tell others, you should talk, but do you listen?
I agree. Yeah.
Because you're only interesting because you're interested.
Interesting.
Utapata, for example, someone who's actively listening to you, you could start talking about this water, and then you delve into juice, you start talking about these white shoes, and no one asked you about all these other things, but because you just feel listened to, you find yourself talking
Opening
a bit more and opening up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's with regards to that space for men. But far from that, trying to address other issues men face, like financially, with the concept of franchising of ManCave. So that creates an extra revenue stream for guys. Over the time, coming into some form of partnership and membership for ManCave clients. So if you're a ManCave client, you probably could get discounted services at say RFH or miles with airlines, or go to Shell and get a discount, a ManCave discount. So basically trying to create an ecosystem for men.
Okay.
Something that's ours. I actually would say, I don't want to be ashamed to say that, by the way, this is our space, and it's fine if there are no babes in it. Yeah.
What was that?
Let's talk about, because ManCave is a brand, it's known. So I want us to talk about the story before the glory. You get what was the idea? We've had stories. I started this in the stories.
I started this with a feather.
A chicken business with a feather and all that. But you have a very niche, very unique, and you've been consistent over time. And you're one of the people who have defined that space. Every other person is a Kinyozi. And Kinyozi can mean so many things. And it sometimes means bad things.
Yeah.
So how did you, now that you're moving to creating a safe space for men, but starting off, what was the idea? You had so many things you would have done, but you chose this line of business.
So myself, I came in 2023 as a first franchisee.
Okay.
With a location at Nairobi Street Kitchen.
Okay.
So we currently have 3 locations running. There's Nairobi Street Kitchen, there's Mwanzi Market, and there's Danka Plaza in Kitengela.
Okay.
We are foreseeing like 2 more coming very soon.
Okay.
One being at, there's this new strip mall being done slightly after Kalamata on your way on James Gishuru.
Oh, yeah.
Next to that container place with the wine shop and whatever. And along Kiambu Road.
Okay.
The goal is 100 locations across the region.
Interesting. Wow.
Both company owned and franchised. So came in at the time, they had 5 other locations running. So I came in, for me, coming in was more or less for the money. I mean, the numbers made sense. Between 2018 and 2023, ManCave had done over 100 million in revenue with just 5 locations.
Wow.
Yeah, for a barbershop, that's crazy.
Barbershop.
It was, people would always assume, ni Kinyozi. But if you think of the business as it's a need business, men actually need to shave, then it changes your perspective and you actually see the numbers.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at, say, for example, if a location needed to do $1 million in revenue, $1 million in revenue divided by, say, 25, by 1,500, that's 666, I think. Divide by 25 days of the week, you just need to shave an average of 24 clients. That's an average of 6 clients a barber. And that's barely even his 8-hour shift. Actually, that's barely his 12-hour shift, because it's from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So, I mean, it's not that hard.
Yes.
The economics.
The economics make sense. So coming to ManCave, I mean, they had a whole team, structure everything. And so what had happened was, after a while, we'd launched on the 1st of April, 2023. That was good. We started off, but now the issue at the time was what you see versus what you get. You see the thing online. So I'd paid for XYZ. Then there were a couple of deliverables that were not met. And unfortunately, the guy didn't want to be held accountable so when that happened, and at the time, I think 2023 was a crazy time because that same year, my dad fell critically ill again. He suffered TB that went to the brain, and so now we were in and out of hospital, HDU, whatever. So I don't think I also had bandwidth to deal with a lot of bullshit outside of that. And then now, this whole situation with ManCave, it was messy because even the employees at the time had not been paid. Now down past April, around May, June, had not been paid since the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Their salaries and everything. Yet you can see the numbers are coming in. The second franchisee who came in paid everything. Then this guy comes and says, I've mismanaged your funds. You know, it was a bit messy. There was a third person who had made a deposit of $1 million bob, which she'd taken a loan with.
Wow, okay.
And she never got anything. Actually, up to date, she's somewhere paying a loan that she's not getting value for. This guy cooled her cash. And so it was quite messy. So it was from the standpoint of, you know, like we met with the guys working there at the time. Very solid guys. And they were the engine behind the machine, literally. And we were just like, okay, fine. I get to know that this guy hasn't trademarked the brand. Go ahead and trademark it with Kippy. We also did it in the US. And then, you know, start the process of the takeover. And started our journey again.
Okay.
So I think that was the beginning. Quite messy, but
Where do you think they were fucking up? Because I think the idea of a franchise is you should be able to, you know, it gives you like a launch pad, right? You should be able to get started quickly. You have brand equity, everything is working. But where was it? What was being fucked up?
The money. The money.
Or was the intention for franchising the wrong intention?
No, it was the right intention.
But done
the
wrongly.
The franchising, everything made sense because there was already structures. I mean, we already have the structure, and that's why we are still pushing for the same franchising. I think the guy had his own issues that was choking the dream.
The business.
Yeah, it was basically choking the business.
Most people have an issue between separating the business's money and your money.
Yeah,
and probably that was the issue.
That was the issue. That was the issue.
But I think it also boils down to you as a person separating your identity. You get,
from the business.
From the business. If you are an owner of that, you tend to center everything around yourself, which should not be the case. So if you think about big franchise like KFC, you know, all those things, they are standard, they have structures, and they are governed by certain principles and structures. So it's not around the person, but it's about the system and structure that are in place.
Okay.
And if you think about a business, even how it's registered and even by law, it's considered an entity on its own.
Exactly.
It's considered a human being on its own. And if you actually think of why a business is there, it's ideally supposed to outlive you.
Yeah.
And it's not about you. Like, look at Steve Jobs having been removed
from his own company.
from his own company.
Yeah.
And it's still operated. I feel like the entrepreneurship journey is a very humbling journey because it's a constant reminder that you're just a guy. You know, it's not about you.
Yep.
And you know nothing.
And it's also the fact that God has given you this opportunity to contribute or to cater for someone else's life in one way or another. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think when you come from that understanding, it's like, but you're not that important. Even I'm not that important. Even today, the business could probably get rid of me. You know, and once you're aware of that, I think it helps you. It sobers you up, kidogo, to realize.
Do most entrepreneurs realize that? Like, do they work from the same principle that, you know, for you, you're saying, you know, your own business will get rid of you, but most people would want to, I know it's like security. You hold the business hostage, and I've seen this, and even for me, when I did a lot of businesses, I did not want to delegate, or I was not comfortable to delegate. And I wanted, it gives me some form of security, knowing that I am the chief executive officer. I make the decision. I am
Bossy.
the executive. I mean, the bossy. Mindo dosi nikienda mali, you know, it gives you some sense of security. But over time, I've come to learn that you need to give the business life of its own. Separate from you, separate from what you're doing and all that. So how easy is it? Because I think that's where most entrepreneurs get it wrong. You know, you are the finance person, you are the HR, you want to micromanage, you want to dictate the process, and it's your way or the highway.
Yeah.
So how do you as a person, and for everyone who is listening, create that structure?
Yeah.
That the business, it's your business, but it can get rid of you.
First of all, the ManCave story tends to feel like deja vu because if you actually watch the McDonald's story, the founder, it's kind of the story. But back to your question, if you look at the dictionary definition of a company, it's a group of people.
Yeah.
Even as I started off by saying, I can't take all the credit for ManCave. Yes, I've contributed. My part may be significant, but a big chunk of it is the team, my partners, and their contribution. I don't think I'd be here. We'd have this conversation if it wasn't for them. They're the ones who came up with the SOPs, nini. For me, I think two things. For the longest time, I tend to chill a bit more with guys who are a bit older than I am. And guys who are also in business and have been in business for a bit longer. And also, if you look at some of the guys we emulate even outside, at point of entry, they always prepare for exit.
Okay.
And I think that's the mindset that helps you get yourself out of that loop of trying to be everything. Because as Jay-Z said, you'd rather own 1% of something than 100% of nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So once you understand that if you focus on making other people more money, then you consequently make more money. That's why you get guys like Bezos, all these guys owning probably less than 20% of their company. But bringing in value, you're good at this, I'm good at this. And then we come together and make this thing great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think just preparing, always getting ready for exit. Like for us, or rather, one thing I always say is I think I'd be comfortable the day I probably see ManCave listed on the NSE. Sasa najua sawa. Naweza ondokea hii kitu. You know. But I think doing that and being comfortable with that conversation is very important. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'll detour a bit. And what I want now to understand is there's these things that when you're starting off in business or even in career or whatever, the things that you think you should be chasing because that's what society or other business players have glamorized. But then when you're in it, you realize that this is actually the wrong thing. So like, let's say in marketing, how in digital marketing, people chase likes and comments.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, no one is buying. And then that's when it hits you that, okay, I've been chasing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So has there been anything that you've learned so far in your business building journey that you thought I should be chasing, but now I'm like, no, that thing's just wasting my time?
I think it's that one. I think it's more or less like that PR. It really doesn't translate on the balance sheet. It doesn't always translate on the balance sheet.
For ground.
Yeah, I mean, you might have, say, a good name, but like, is it actually doing something for you? Yeah. So I think the most important thing is get out of your own head. Like, I think business forces you to kind of get out of your own head. It's not, you actually should just focus on the value of putting out to the marketplace and to your customers. Are they happy? Are they bringing other guys coming in? Because consequent to that, those are the same guys who will come back and say, okay, fine, I want a franchise because they've had a good experience with you guys and they're trying to see, okay, fine, I can have this somewhere else. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
And is that thing around how many people are coming back and referring people, is that the signal that you think is most important for you?
Yeah. For us, we're in the retention business. Yeah. We're not about shaving you today. We're about you coming and spending 100,000 over the 1 year back at our place. That's what makes sense to us. So if you just focus on making you have a very good experience every time you come, then I won't be too worried about so many other things. Just focus on having a very seamless operation, then replicating that in different places. I think, yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about predictability, right? So you said you want to have 100 locations. For someone who is watching, how do you standardize that? So if I am in Kitengela and I work in Westlands, I am busy today, I need a haircut, I'm going for a show, for a meeting, I am assured that if I go to ManCave, Nairobi Street Kitchen, I'll get the same experience.
It boils down to our SOPs. We've written down literally everything. We assume that we are, like, this is things a 5-year-old kid can literally walk in and use as instructions to run. The only probably thing they might not be able to do per se is the actual shaving. So we are very keen on structuring that around. And also when it comes to the shaving, before we place barbers in any of our locations, well, we call them grooming consultants. Before we place any of them in our locations, they're also vetted by the barbers currently there to be like, okay, this guy is actually good. He can move from there.
So
basically standardizing everything. And by standardizing is basically documenting.
You're documenting. So when I don't think most businesses have standard operating procedures, like the SOPs. Do you think that is the secret sauce for you?
Yes. Yes.
So that's what set you apart from any other. Any other Kinyozi.
Because that instructs. That's like the constitution of the barbershop. It instructs you on how to operate at a ManCave.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are in the service industry.
Yeah.
You are with people, and you've talked about hiring, and before you onboard a barber, they need to be vetted by the other barbers. So let's talk about talent. Identifying a good person, and because the people that your grooming consultant form a very strong relationship with the people that they interact with. And I've seen it happens. You go from experience, you'll go to a barbershop and they'll tell you, by the way, you can come to this place. I also do this. How do you sort of protect the brand from the people? Because I sort of will form a relationship with my grooming consultant, not the brand itself. Because if I go to my barber and he has another person that they are, shaving, I'd rather wait than get the next available barber. So for you, how do you navigate through these dynamics?
Number one is bring about dignity to the profession.
Okay.
Treating these guys, the GCs, with the respect they deserve, paying them on time, showing them that, boss, it's like whatever you're doing is actually, by this, if you think about it, they're actually quote unquote our bosses. Jama akisema, he's not showing up today, I'm not making money.
That's a good point.
And I'll never go shave. I don't even know how to shave. I think I'll learn that. I actually told them, Juicy, itabidi nimejua. But
kinyozi ajinyoi, so.
Kinyozi ajinyoi. But that's number one. Number two is, I think even number two would still boil down to number one, because you also need to create in them a love for their job and for the brand, and also sell them the vision.
Okay.
You know, make them feel like they are part
of the business.
Okay.
of the business. That's the only way you could have that, because we do have clients who will say, okay, I want to be shaved by Joseph, or I want to be shaved by this other guy, although all of them would shave them the same way, but there's still that personal relationship. But there's also still that element of these guys don't want to leave. And another thing we realized is that because of all these structures, when some of these guys go somewhere else, or they have been somewhere else, they want to come at work at ManCave because of the structure around it.
Okay.
You know, they feel like there's some element of confusion elsewhere. Yeah. Because you make their work easy, because now they just have to focus on shaving. When it comes to, say, the clients, so we have the booking systems and everything. So the client is actually a ManCave client and not a Joseph client or whoever. Because let's assume the barber dies. You'll never be shaved again. Actually, I have a friend who came. He calls me one day and he's like, "Hey boss, my barber died." Now, what do I do? Who would you recommend to come? I come get a haircut from. But yeah, looking at those factors, looking at things like, say, your barber moves from here and goes to Nanyuki. What are the odds you'll follow him to Nanyuki? Yeah. So I think it's creating systems and creating a very holistic customer experience from the point you get in to the point you leave. So that by the time you're thinking about, probably he didn't do your hairline that well, he did so many other things so well, you'll give him another chance next time.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then other factors like, like just looking at the customer. On your birthday, getting a free haircut.
But see, that's still part of systems.
Yeah.
Because for you to be able to know...
Actually, we are a very data-driven business. Yeah. Our decisions are based off of data. Okay, we'll notice, hey, by the way, sales are low today. Rusha a message, give guys like 50% off. There's someone who didn't intend on getting a haircut. Yeah. He'll show up now. He's like, oh, by the way, I need a haircut. And just show up. Now your sales have gone up that day. Yeah.
And I think I agree with you, because most, and for lack of a better words, most barbershops are being run kienyeji.
Yeah.
In Kikuyu, they say kiondudo. You show up, nobody knows. I would stay for 2 months without going to the fair. It's not consistent. There is a lot of things that are not adding up to the experience or to my expectation. Because what the modern man is looking for is conveniency. I want to go to this person. I want to call them. They need to know. So if Sam gets a haircut bi-weekly, and I have not shown up the third week, someone needs to do something to call you.
Exactly.
And you cross-sell. So I think you're making a very good point, and this is something that can be replicated to any business as well.
It's actually a business problem.
It's a business problem. It's a business problem. I agree.
And you see now you've talked about the Kyondudo way of doing things. It boils down to for a client, but the clients are very sensitive. You know, like we tell our barbers, you can't be handling a client and you're talking to your colleague. Ama you can't start nonsense conversations of CG. You saw Ruto did what yesterday. Or do you know yesterday CG nani alifanya nini? I mean, focus on the customer. There's some conversations that could disgust a customer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You know, and those things happen in your typical local. You know. I mean, it boils down to those very small. They may look insignificant, but for the customer, they are very, very significant. Because the space is basically a safe space for guys. This guy is coming to chill and relax and close his eyes probably for an hour and a half, 2 hours. He wants peace. So he can't afford some things.
Telling him about.
And then you're paying 1,500, average of 1,500 for a haircut. Then you're coming to hear nonsense. No.
Hey, that's interesting.
Yeah, and well, we're still on this topic of people. Is there anything that you, when hiring, that you look out for now that you weren't looking out for
before
some years back? Something that you now believe is so important, but you never really thought about it.
I think what tends to happen, although I'm not actively involved in that side of things, what tends to happen is hiring is a skill just like any other. You get better with time. Someone who's been in business for like 10, 15, 20 years, the chairman of different companies or whatever, can smell bullshit from a mile away. He can look at you from there and he's like, hey, this guy won't cut it. And for sure he won't cut it. But it's just trial and error. I think over time, it's a skill. It's a skill. But I think the most important thing is for sure a willingness to learn and just a positive attitude. It's said a lot, it's very cliche, but it's very true. You find a barber who may not say be as fast at his skill, but he has a very good attraction rate. He has a very good retention rate because, I mean, how he articulates himself, how he handles clients. Napata too, it's an energy thing. People will gravitate towards you because of a positive attitude. If you're just negative, if you're pessimistic, sales ni mbaya, ni kubaya, economy. Economy has nothing to do with anything, honestly. Yes, there's a role it plays, but a bigger part of it is you, who you are, and the vibe you come into anything with. Because I mean, it's a skill. And what we've noticed is it helps a bit when someone is a bit more advanced in his education. So you'll find that because we encourage our barbers, there's no, well, you can have Kiswahili, but you can't be speaking, say, Kikuyu in the barbershop because you're dealing with all sorts of clients. So mostly it's going to be, you also need to up your skills in English, because you're going to handle even Caucasians. So they also know how to do scissor cuts and everything. So you find that someone, say, who's probably has a degree, is probably better placed. Imagine for that job, because he's going to handle clients a certain way. He's going to be a bit more professional.
Speaking of that, so for most people who, and I know there is this impression in the market that being a barber is a low skill job, like it's not well paying and all that. Do barbers make money?
Yeah. You guys come up and franchises wanted to reduce unemployment. They actually do make money.
Okay.
Because first of all, they're paid off commission. So there's a lot of incentive on their part to make sure they're very good at whatever they're doing and they retain a good number of their clients.
Okay.
So right now, the average in the marketplace generally tends to be around 40%.
Wow.
So if you're doing 40% of 200K in sales, that's 80 Gs.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's not, the math is not that complex.
Yes.
So even he'll be very keen on how can I upsell this client. So how can I increase my average bill per client from 1,500 to say 3,000, 5,000? Will I add like texturizer? Will I add a facial? Would I add hair color? You know, can I incentivize this guy because your endeavor looks like this? I can do this, you know. Because at the end of the day, as we were saying earlier, he's a grooming consultant. He's like a doctor. You've come, he's the one who's recommending this is what would look good for you.
Yeah.
So yes, they actually are. And and one thing that can validate that is you can see, yes, we might talk about, there's probably an unemployment issue in the country or whatever. But someone to be willing to get after his degree to say, no, I'm actually want to become a barber. I'm not doing circumstantially. I actually want to become a barber and still with his degree. In fact, there's one who in his free time, he actually writes code.
Wow.
So, but he opted to be a barber. It's the element of bringing dignity and having that conversation of check. It's not what you do, it's how you do it that will make you successful. And the marketplace right now is rewarding value.
Yeah, agree.
It's rewarding value.
Real value.
Real value. And again, you know, there's no shame in being there shouldn't be any shame in whatever you do because it's work and you're contributing to the economy.
Yeah.
Significantly because you get yourself out of that economy, there's a vacuum.
I agree here.
Yeah, so we should be able to have a round table or somewhere on a weekend chilling. One of us is in the hardware business, the other one is a barber, the other one is a chairman of a certain company, and all of us respect each other equally because we are still paying. I'm going to pay for my nyama, I'm going to pay for my beer, I'm going to pay for my... You get? Yeah.
I think what you said around it's not what you do, it's how you do. I personally believe there's no low-skill job. I think when we were growing up, okay, maybe, I don't know if kids growing up now also get this, but there was like, if you are smart, these are the careers you should
It
think
was
about.
a doctor, lawyer,
don't think about anything else.
engineer.
Nowadays, they call them teenage dreams.
And I don't know why that was the case, because again, now I think that thinking made other people think that, yes, if you're not smart, or if you're smart, there are things you shouldn't think about. They are the low skill. But as you said, yes, you are a barber, but your job is actually not to shave the hair. It's part of the job.
Yeah.
You need to know how to speak to this person. You need to learn how to upsell, because now that's, you actually are an entrepreneur in your own right. Yes, you are employed, but you are an entrepreneur in that business.
But if you actually think about it, what is intelligence?
What's your definition?
I believe intelligence is knowing how to get what you want out of life without violating the rights of others.
Yes, that's what Naval also says.
Yeah. It's not that because I became a doctor, you might have gotten that, but you don't know how to get what you want out of life without stepping on someone or...
I think that's the thing, and I've seen, people who are very business oriented. For example, I was doing the maths of, if you go to a matatu stage, there's someone who sells smoky and mayai, and they do it if you go at 5, like rush hour, and people are in the morning, they're not there, but jioni, you're tired, umetoka job na nini, that guy does not pay taxes, right? Whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And if the price of smokies goes high, he increases the price of what he's doing, or eggs. And these guys make, if you do the maths of a tray of eggs, for example, ni kama 2 something, right? And they will sell that. Nowadays, I think mayai ni 25 or 30 bob. So these guys make more money than someone who is hired for a corporate job.
Yeah.
And they work specific time, 7 to this. Mchana anaweza fanya vitu zake and all that. And when you go to nowadays, there is someone who is collecting money. There's someone who is making the kachumbari.
Yeah.
There's someone who, if you want smoky, smocha or whatever, it's value addition speciality. And you'll find 4 guys on that trolley someone is doing the fire, but they're still making money. But when we think about it and what the society has conditioned us to think is that huyu ni mse wa mayai, but mse wa mayai is actually gongeing us, and they're making more money than someone who is in a corporate job. So it's like you said, it's about intelligence. They've seen the need, they've seen the market, they've seen people at this kablamati jai nini, I need to have a snack. And you will eat more often than not is one or two. And now this person wataingia gym. So
you see, that guy is addressing a need.
It's
the market. He's seen the marketplace. These guys need this, and so now I'm gonna place myself in a position to be able to address this guy's need. Unfortunately, a lot of us tend to start the other way around. I have a good idea. Who the hell told you it's a good idea? It's a marketplace that to be like, okay, there's this vacuum. Come and fill this vacuum.
And the market's very ruthless.
Yeah, it's very cutthroat. The other interesting thing and a fun fact, do you know that Smoky guy? That's the largest franchise in Kenya. It's the largest franchise. All those two Smoky things are actually franchises of Farmers Stress. Yeah.
And they have done everything to standardize. They give you the trolley
and the products.
They give you the branding. They give you better rates. And actually, even now, communication. Normally, commercials will be around glamorous, how glamorous the Smoky is. But now, you've seen the influencers wanaenda, nikatia mayai. Someone who does Smoky Githeri, that guy is slur. So it's about understanding the customer, like you said, understanding the market and solving an actual problem.
Yeah.
I think that's my understanding of all this.
Yeah, and not bitching that no one is liking my product. It's like you go to what they like then. Yeah.
That's a good point.
And that's the thought process that justifies a lot of even the biasharas in downtown. I was being told by a friend of mine yesterday on phone, kuna mtu anauzanga tu sweetie. Anasupplya watu sweetie and he's netting almost 2 mic a month.
Jesus I know that
Christ.
shop.
Oh, you know the shop?
Just sweets.
Mi kwangu ilikuwa story. You know the shop?
I know that shop.
So yeah, imagine like you think of sweets. You're looking at that tropical for 10.
How many sweets do you have to sell to make 2 mic?
But how many people are actually taking that tropical every day?
If it's the same shop, I know. It's an Indian run shop. I've known that shop since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just generation after generation. The only thing they've done for I don't know how long, sell sweets. They've perfected that business.
Yeah. There's someone who's, when referring to businesses, always says, the wheel was already invented. Don't try reinvent it. Just plug yourself into that ecosystem and operate. I mean, when it comes to making money, it's really that simple.
So what's your take on white collar jobs? Everybody wants to be in an office behind a computer. That's the definition of success. That's what people think, that this is how you've made money. This is how you are successful. But I was talking to my relationship manager for a bank and was telling me their busiest and the best performing bank is the one in Kirinyaga Road. Like their branch.
Yeah.
Because the money is moving. It's that you think it's dirty money, but people are making cash flow, currency and all that. So what's your take on, you're saying someone has a degree, they're doing coding during the day, they're using an actual skill, they are a grooming consultant. But the society is being told, telling us that you need to go to school, get this degree, go to a job, 9 to 5, like you were saying, and that's how you are successful. But what conversation do we need to start having around that, around white collar jobs and how you need to be successful in life?
I would never discredit white collar jobs, or I would never credit more blue collar jobs. It's an ecosystem and everyone plays their role.
Okay.
And if you get rid of one, this other one will also consequently suffer. If you get rid of now the bankers, the guy in Kirinyaga Road will also suffer somehow. The real issue would be not trying. I mean, success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It's not, your success is not his success.
Interesting, yeah.
And his is not mine. But we can all coexist together. It's that whole element where we are told, like amateurs compete, pros create or collaborate. We just need to work together and work together harmoniously. And now the thing is, just also knowing yourself. Not all of us are cut out for business or are cut out for blue collar jobs. There's genuinely people who are cut out for white collar. Probably because your tolerance to pain is not as much. You don't have patience. You also thrive more in a structure. There are people who thrive in a structure. And they're the ones who you'll find probably climb up the ranks. They're very good managers. They're very good CEOs for someone else's company.
Okay.
But if you put him to run his own company, he doesn't know where to start.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
So there's a place for everyone. Yeah. I don't know. I can't discredit, because if I discredit the white collar guys, I've discredited also my folks. And the reason I can speak the way I speak, or I'm doing whatever I'm doing, I always start from, I'm probably also speaking from a point of privilege, because of my environment, things I saw, people I interacted with. And that was made possible by my white collar job parents.
Yeah. So there is no, just to conclude, there is no bad or good job. No. It just depends with how you're conditioned.
Because all of us are contributing to that same economy. Yeah.
Interesting.
If you get rid of this guy, there's a vacuum. So you'll have to plug in someone else who's as good or better for that system to continue running as is. Yeah.
So they're saying kazi ni kazi.
Kazi ni kazi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So if you had to restart again today, what are the 3 first moves you'd make in the first 1 month?
Restart again where?
In business.
First of all, I'd remove the focus from making money. Like, shouldn't be about me first, because now that would confuse me and put me in the scenario of, I have a good idea. I'd first focus on where the money is and where the money is being made. And that's why I've been really advocating for, I'm African and Africa is my business.
Okay.
And so focusing on solutions for the African market. So it's basically basic needs. I've been saying and telling a lot of my friends, like, probably a reason why a good number of our generation is a bit frustrated is because we are so keen on tech. But we'll only have a handful of Kinatesh. We'll only have a handful of, say, the Ndichus of Wapi Pay. We'll only have a handful of all these guys who've succeeded very well in tech.
Yeah.
But the larger majority will come from people who address the basic needs: food, clothing, healthcare, education, and branches of it. And then now using tech to kind of automate and make your operations a bit more efficient.
Oh, that's deep.
So I would say focus on what people want. I think I was doing it subconsciously, but now a bit more intentionally. Number 2 is cash flow. Shit,
Cash flow is king.
It's not profit.
Cash is king.
Yeah.
He who owns the gold makes the rules.
Yeah.
Always. Cash flow. And of course, listening to, we stand on the shoulders of the people that have gone before us. So always being willing to listen and learn. And not just from anyone, of course, but people who've succeeded. Again, that does not mean that you have to follow everything they tell you, but it kind of helps inform a lot of your decisions.
Interesting.
Because the business itself maybe a bit different, but the fundamental principles are always the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of structure and governance, in terms of, say, even getting ready for funding or exit, only someone who's done it before and probably done it a couple of times could sit you down and be like, okay, fine, this is how you're going to go about it with your business. Another thing, and most importantly, is, yes, you could be very smart, but this life of ours is a lot about relationships. Yeah.
Your social currency.
Yeah. Don't burn bridges because only Jesus walked on water. And even if I'm mad at you, never bang the door on your way out.
Yeah.
Always leave a chance to come back and have a conversation. That is very, very, very important. Because I would say, even for me, up to ManCave and even up to now, I'm not dumb. But I'd credit a lot of the progress I've made in my life because of the people in my life, like the people around me. The phone calls I could make and they're picked up. And they're picked up not because of Ian, but because of the person who introduced Ian. So there are some rooms I walk into confidently because of someone else. There's someone else who's mentioned me, or even this. I mean, you guys just DM'd me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's up? Would you come? Would you be open to come and shoot today? And also, your customer is a human being. So, I mean, you can't do without people.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think that should be principle number one. Then everything else follows. I mean, just focus on being good to your fellow neighbor, and then all these other things. Because when you focus on being good to your guy, you'll focus on providing the best product, providing the best service, and then consequently being rewarded in terms of value.
So your network determines your net worth. So how you're connected to people, how you relate with people, will ultimately lead you to become successful in business. So you cannot...
If you know how to tap the value.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing is focus on giving.
Okay.
Give us get. So in those relationships, if you ever find a scenario where I'm with you and then I'm always just asking or taking, you really never want to give. But if you find a scenario where someone is giving, and I think Kirubi also mentioned it once in an interview or something, where always, leave someone else indebted to you. Always leave someone the impression of increase. That guy will always feel like, I think I owe Ian.
Yeah.
I definitely should come through for Ian somehow. So Ian, if Ian never calls, you'll pick up because he comes through for you, and you'll probably come through for him. Yeah.
The reciprocity aspect.
Yeah.
I don't know where I read this, but I read somewhere that if you help someone climb to the top of a mountain, when you reach there, you'll also realize you've also gotten to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
So it comes back to the give and get.
Yeah. So like even the Bible tells us, give and you receive.
Yeah.
It's not for you to know how the receiving is going to happen. Yours is to give. The law of cause and effect will play its course and just,
Interesting.
I mean, business is about offering value and then the marketplace justifying you and saying, okay, here is X amount. You deserve this for the value you've given.
Interesting.
Okay. And is there anything that you should be doing now, but for some reason you're still not doing it in business? Like, this is very important, but something's just not working out. If I give my example, I like the interesting parts. But I know the boring things are very important. Like you're saying, setting the SOPs, writing those things down so that people know what needs to be done when and how, then following up on them. I know they are very important. But I just don't find myself doing it.
I think that part, personally, I think also this boils down to a personality issue. Even me sitting down is a problem. I came to realize very recently. If I can get someone else to get that job done, I'll get someone else to get that job done. And sometimes it's not the best thing because it could end up being costly to you. So there's moments where you actually have to sit down, write that boring email, sit down, actually counter check whether the system and the accounts are making sense, sit down and check. Actually, that boring part of sitting down and that paperwork, going through documents, sometimes handling different clients and probably suppliers when your cash flows are an issue. It's like, that one is hard. Personally, I know because my personality is like, I always have that, okay, I know a guy, I can get this done, sour. But sitting down and doing it, yeah, it's also beaten me in other areas.
Yeah,
where, say for example, I want to say around December, so I was paying for something, so I made some phone calls, and then I was recommended to just check online. Unika check online, ikaambiwa XYZ. Ikaambiwa it's gonna cost this amount. Because I want to get done with this store. I paid the full amount. Kumbe it was a con. Our con wa M-Pesa. But it's a very necessary.
You've been Njoroshad.
I've been Njoroshad a good one.
Okay.
In the pursuit of just trying to get shit done quickly.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that boring stuff that you're talking about. That the part that you don't see when the location is running as it should be, or when you launch a new location, it's that part you don't see. Yeah, following up with clients.
Yeah,
the best part is when you close the deal, but
what happens after? Yeah,
well, the following up bit is just gruesome.
Do you have a different thing
about?
Why your problem is still the boring stuff?
No, my problem is not about the boring stuff. It's always about working from a place of experience. So because I know I have done this thing so many times, I tend not to follow like the procedure. I know step 1, step 2, step 3. So more often than not, I get you get that things have changed, and then you don't realize that they have changed. You have to relearn the process. So I know sometimes I need to relearn, and I don't want to use the same method I've used in the past to a new problem. So relearning the process is something that I think I should start. I know I should be doing that, but I don't. It's a lot of time relearning, trying to do this, and in my head I'm like,
because you remember how long it took to learn the first time.
Exactly. So you're like, shit, so I have to go through this process again. And simple things like I used to be very good at creating ads on Meta, doing search engine optimization.
But the game has changed.
And the game has changed. So when I try to do that again, I'm like, oh no, why is it different? So I don't want to go through that mess.
And I think that's where now the element of repetition and consistency is important, because once you cut it, getting back is hard. Getting back is so hard.
Okay, and is there any decision that you knew was important and you knew you needed to do it now, but you delayed it too long? And because you delayed it too long, it beat you in the ass?
I think for me, what I'd say is that I knew I needed to have more people support me in my business. I knew I needed to delegate, because as a business owner, and the success of your business depend on the people that you hire. Get from experience. So you can have a bloated team of 50 guys, but you can have a lean team of 5 guys that will do the work better, A players. So for me, I think what I would say in my case was the decision to start training more people, to start delegating, to start creating the SOPs, as you say, that if anybody else comes in today and I'm not there, they know they can solve this problem from A to Z. You get? Because I was in a situation in the past that I am the only person who knew where the circuit breaker was. So if power trips, then the whole operation, they need to call me. They're like, Sam, how do we sort this one out? So I have started to learn that and to apply that with people, with the team that I manage and with the team that I work with, to empower them more and to sort of have a knowledge base and sharing this information with everyone. I wish I did that sooner because I will have more time to do better things than to tell them, okay, stima imezima, the circuit breaker is there. Like, the solution will be maybe the circuit breaker, maybe it's the Kenya Power, or there is something that is wrong. But I did not do that sooner than I should have done. Yeah. That's on my perspective.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with the training? Because from my experience, I think there are people who have the willingness to learn. But most people are just there to get by, to do what's bare minimum, get paid at the end of the month, repeat. And so they don't, so unless you're pushing them to get better, they don't get better. So is there another way to go about it, or do you have to push them to get better?
No, I think for me it's collective ownership. Collective ownership in the sense that this guy knows if the power trips, I won't get paid because the client is not happy. So they understand that from the get-go. So they know this is important to them. So we own that process of ensuring we deliver together. So it's not about, because if you come and I say, I'm going to train you, they'll say, that's not my problem. I'm not an electrician or I'm not whatever. But if you have collective ownership and they have a level of responsibility to that process and they know how much it would impact what is important to them, which is their paycheck. So if they understand that you collectively own that process, then it's easier for them to be curious enough to know, how do I fix this problem in as much as it doesn't affect me directly, but it impacts my end of the day. Yeah.
But that employee who just is there for their salary, you will always be there in any company.
Yeah.
They're always there. And they play their role very well.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything, you can't get rid of that person per se. Now back to me, I think that question would have been answered better before ManCave. With everything else I did, I think working on and in ManCave has really taught me a lot that I would have known it, especially working with a team. Knowing that you can't do everything yourself, making mistakes and fixing them together. I think I've been graced enough to have learned or still learning all of those things, because the learning never stops. You just keep learning every day. But for now, I probably would have answered that question better 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think for me, my problem is with delegation. And my problem is, if I know that I will still, at the end of the day, do something better than you, why waste my time?
Yeah.
And I know that I should delegate. But then, no, the fear of you disappointing me makes me to hold it instead of letting it go. And I think now the problem with me is, if I feel like I need to control it, I will control it fully. And then if I let it go, I will let it go fully. I don't have that middle ground.
Yeah.
But I think that collective ownership, I don't know how to achieve it, but I'll think about it. I think
But
that
even Ian has alluded to it. He said that you allow people to make mistakes. You said you make
even
mistakes
me, I
together.
make mistakes. Yeah.
But
You make mistake together. So you own that. You you know you were part of that mistake. So we said we're going to make mistake together, and from there you know.
Yeah, but see, you can only make mistakes if you are intentional about trying to achieve something. So if you aren't, if you're just there to get by, you can't really make a mistake because you're not even putting.
You're not even aware you're making a mistake. You're not conscious of it. Yeah, you're just operating.
So you need to first get people to that point where, like we're saying, collective ownership. So they know I need to do X to achieve Y.
Yeah.
How I achieve that, I might make a mistake. And then that, yes, truly is a mistake. But I feel like most people aren't at that point. And so even the mistakes are not really mistakes. And for me, that's the biggest struggle.
Interesting.
I think I haven't had to struggle with that because for me, I've always not tried doing something I know. Mi najua kazi ya stima, wachia mtu wa stima. Like, Judy, I was thinking about it and I was like, I'm that lazy guy who anapeangwa kazi juu anafikirianga the fastest way of doing this job.
Yeah.
Because I'm only so strong at what I'm very strong at. That doesn't mean that I shouldn't understand, say, what other parts or arms of the business are doing, but you also have to operate to a very large extent from an element of trust. Because if you're trying to scale and grow this thing, if you get to, say, the point of being a chairman of a big company, you will never know the day-to-day of a certain department. What will be brought for every day is your accountant.
P&L.
Just looking at your P&L, and that's what's going to basically inform your decision, okay, this department is sour, this department is sour.
I agree. Yeah.
But if you try micromanage everyone...
Yeah, you'll die young.
Yeah.
So if a friend came to you and they want to start a business and they want to start it this month, what's the one rule that you'd insist they follow?
The market first, then you.
The market
so identify
first,
the
then
need.
Yeah. Yes.
Then figure out the solution.
Yes.
And figure
Work
out the solution
backwards.
and then
literally
try to
work
push.
backwards. Yeah. Yeah. First, get what it is that the market needs. Or even if it's that passion of yours or whatever it is you're trying to do, where in the market will it fit in and fit in quite well? Because again, you'll never address everyone. Each of us have our own customers. That's why ManCave will thrive in the same market as that Kinyozi. Yeah, there'll never be a day that Kinyozi will cost our customer. You get? But now that you're trying to address this, now work backwards. How am I going to get to that? Yeah. But if you start from here going forward, you'll be a very frustrated person.
Okay. Do you have any other question?
No, we get to the rapid quick fire.
No, even before that, I think...
Yours?
So I think for me is solve a problem.
Yeah, same thing.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You solve an actual problem. We have seen a lot of businesses, especially in Kenya, they are not solving actual problem. You see, the people don't understand the market. You think people actually need this thing, they don't. So you're not solving an actual problem. So if you're solving an actual problem, then that business will work out. But if it can be your passion, it's not. It's your passion, but it's not what the market needs, like you said. Yeah.
Another thing is, let's not shy away from wealth. Money is good. Don't shy away from asking for $1 million bob if that's what you feel you should be paid. Yeah. Never feel guilty that you've gongered someone.
But you see, people don't debate about cost if they see value. Because if I see value, I'm willing to pay a premium. For example, there's so many Kinyozis that will charge 200 bob, right? But you have your service. Your client will come to your establishment because they see value. So you're not.
But you see, you started from the price first. Then you come back and justify why I'm charging you that amount. Yeah. So never shy away from charging someone.
But isn't that the issue of when you buy something and then you feel like nimegongwa? You ask if Alon asked me, how did you buy that? There are times that we lie. You say, hii ni 200. Unaweza buy it for 200. They're like, hey, 200 mob. Kuna mse fulani aliuzia hii 150. You feel very bad about that. You feel played because the perceived value of that item vis-a-vis the price that you paid for is not justifiable. So that's
the example I'm going to use is Apple products. Mm-hmm. The cost of production and what they sell to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a whole mile.
Yeah.
But the perceived value of an Apple.
Exactly, yeah. So it's an element of, can I justify the price with the value I'm actually offering this customer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, cool. So now we'll get into the rapid fire segment. And we'll just ask a few questions. You answer with what comes to mind.
Yeah.
So one early stage mistake you see founders repeat most?
Early stage mistake founders.
Don't overthink it.
You see a business starting up and you're like,
oh, mejicheza.
Who you? This one will not go far. I think you said you smell bullshit from a distance.
I think it's trying to perfect the product before launching.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So build as you go.
Yeah. Juanga ukiendanga.
The most dangerous word in business.
I'm good.
Good in what way? Like
you could always make it better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And remembering that in capitalism there's a lot of competition, so you can never get to a point where you're satisfied. Actually, the word is satisfied. I'm satisfied. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. The best boring habit for founders.
The best boring habit for founders.
And now say waking up at 4 a.m. So I know you wake up at 4 a.m.
I do.
Yeah, don't say wake up at 4 a.m. Say something else.
The best boring habit for founders. Mine would be observation. Just staying there and observing people do things like life.
Yeah.
Life literally moves. You just observe and learn.
I think removing yourself from,
just stay there
situations. Yeah. Sometimes you try to control the results too much. Sometimes just you, after you've done your part, just
let life.
Let life.
It's ebbs and flow.
One thing you'd never outsource early.
One thing I never outsourced early is even marketing. Yeah. I mean, reduce your overheads as much as possible before you can. Yeah.
Okay. Then one thing you should outsource earlier than most people think.
HR. Ama kazi ya stima.
Ama kazi ya stima. One thing you should outsource early. I think it's HR. When you umesema.
People business. A red flag when choosing partners.
Yes, we are all doing this for the money, but it can't be just about the money. And I think the biggest challenge with even local people who would probably be in a position to be an angel investor or that kind of capacity tend not to understand their role. Anakupea do, and then he'll come and try and make you like sasa anaanza kukushow venye unafaa kurun biashara yako. And that's really not their role. Their role is just bringing the money, of course help with a bit of structures here and there. but like his role is his money to pump to help you scale. I think it's that. I think it's an investor or a partner who doesn't understand what it is that they came to do in the business. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about a green flag?
A green flag of a partner. Someone who's understood what it is you're trying to do. I think the red flag and the green flag is someone who's understood what it is that you're trying to do. And is willing to walk that journey with you. Yeah.
Interesting. How about the fastest way to rebuild momentum after a bad month?
For us,
Yes.
it would be probably reminders, just awareness that you're still here. He who makes the most noise makes the most money. So money follows attention. So you just need to make people aware that you're still around. And incentivize clients. I mean, those discounts, giving them offers, for example. That's giving a client a reason to come and spend. Yeah, you've saved him a coin, but he's also spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's communication for you.
I think it's just understanding the psychology of your customer. And that's based off of data. So you look at your data from your contacts. Okay, when was the last time this guy was here? 2 weeks ago, you call and remind them. I think just understanding that, as Jay-Z said, and most importantly, you, the customer. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we had for today. Any final words from both of you, actually? Or anything you want us to touch on?
I think for me, the conversation here is not about ManCave as a business, but ManCave as a business model. What I've learned is structures will make or break a business. Consistency, communication, and getting yourself from the equation to ensure that the business does not revolve around you. You get, but and the business that does not grow around you but grows with you as an entrepreneur. So that's what I've learned, and that's a model that can be replicated in so many businesses that are trying to start. So if you want to do better, you need to have systems, you need to be data driven, you need to understand the last thing you said, the psychology of your business and also the psychology of your customer. So that is what that is my key takeout from this.
Yeah, and also understanding what business you're actually in.
Yeah.
I think that was quite key for me.
Yeah.
Any final words?
Pardon?
Any final words?
First of all, thank you. Thank you for considering me and hosting me for this. It's such an honor. I think for me, I would say don't be afraid to try. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
I agree.
I mean, like, a lot of the good things you have and we have today, it's because you are just audacious enough to just say, by then I'm going to try it. Successful fuck-ups, as you guys would put it. And number two, of course, for us, the goal remains the same, 100 locations. And we'd incentivize guys to reach out to us and see how we could walk this journey together.
Okay.
Build Kenyan brands, build African brands, and let's make something of our own. And
so is the goal 100 locations, or is the goal Nairobi Stock Exchange? Because you can have one location and be, there's momentum, but there is also substance.
For now, I'd look more at the impact. So I'd probably say the 100 location goal, because of the impact it's going to have 2 people. So if you're looking at 100 locations, you're looking at an average of directly 600 people impacted because of the employees.
That's top, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's directly.
Yeah,
Much more
so
indirectly.
directly. So NSC will happen consequent to that or other things. That I'm not too worried about. That will happen, but the most important thing is the impact to the society, and at least we'll have contributed in a way and said, okay, fine, if ManCave, before ManCave, our employment rate, and after ManCave, look at what QuickMart have done, Naivas have done. In fact, QuickMart launched the State House Nakuru one yesterday. How many locations do they have? And you can imagine the number of employees in each location.
Yes.
Ian, thank you for joining us today. I think it was very insightful, great story, and I think our audience will get quite a lot from this episode. So thank you once again. Yes. And to our audience, thank you for being with us, not just for this episode, but for the entire journey. This is actually our 25th episode, so Silver Jubilee. Woo. So thank you so much. We hope you've been getting a lot of insight, and we're also planning to bring even more guests, more stories, more fuck-ups, and more lessons that you can take and use them in your businesses, in your life, in your careers, in whatever that you choose to endeavor in. So thank you, and that's it. See you again next time. It's a wrap.